Did you know, just like a roundup of From Russia with Love 7 in many aspects, our world is only 5% developed. Only 5%. America pretty much also. 5%. Between 5 and 10 anyway. And yet for the past 100 years, we have knocked it down and rebuilt it. Mainly due to war. All because certain private contractors get all their funding that way. Imagine what we could achieve if that trash and rebuild process was eliminated. As covered in Tuesday's show, this is a scam of massive proportions, where an inner circle connected to the CIA, Five Eyes, NATO, are all passing bogus information around the world to self-generate their own programs, create their own contracts, and collect all the funds associated with it. Look what happened in Iraq. They bombed it into oblivion, and then clowns in America, CIA, brought in their own contractors to rebuild it, likes of Halliburton, Bechtel and others. Does anyone ask, why are we rebuilding their country? Think logically. You go to war in some country for whatever reason. But did the Romans, the Dutch, the British rebuild the towns that they destroyed? It defies all logic. And yet so few ask, why are we rebuilding Iraq? And more importantly, why are we not rebuilding our own country? Because these private contractors connected to Langley are creaming all the funds is why. The whole thing's beyond bizarre. That requires vast quantities of funds that belongs to the American people, which the American people have largely forgotten. Governments and banks don't have money, they have ours. And yet no one or too few asks, why are we doing this and who is responsible for it? Well, clearly after the last show, now you know why. So how does it work? Well, you have corrupt agencies passing bogus information based on a narrative designed to deliver a solution they require. It's passed on to governments and media to garner the reaction from the public. The reaction then, public, requires them to provide the solution they wanted. And off we go to war. The Iraqis did 9/11. No, they didn't. Did Afghanistan do it? No, they didn't. Except over the past 4 or 5 decades, which we covered some of the laws, with new laws passed, they just bypassed due process and cut out the politicians altogether. Politicians who, I might add, are clueless and know less of what is and has gone on than the average alt media person. It's all compartmentalised, you see. And politicians are the bottom 1%. Deep state, military and agents are the bottom 5 to 10% maximum. Puppets. And these programs are based on population reduction to cover up previous scandals, Operation Gladio, hello, acquiring of resources to then fund other programs, regime change to install their own puppets, which is Operation Condor, receptive to their levels of depravity and corruption. And it involves the military, science, big pharma, agency intelligence, and world-based agencies, private groups operating under the fake banner of security. Churches, charities, banks and secret think tank groups are all in on it. The CIA, which is a front for OSS, SS being the operative word, or letters, who are a front for the Vatican, who are a front for the Zionist, communist, Israelite people, masquerading as Jewish. The Jewish religion was their chosen faith to deliver their anti-life program globally, when in reality they are known as the Black Sun Cult. They've told a whole heap of fake history with books barely believable to those who can actually think, created a program whereby one group is more special than the rest, the classic divide and conquer that, and caused untold suffering to people immersed into that religion, into a program that has rendered their peoples almost as pariahs in many countries. But like I keep saying, these people have been used, pushed into various countries globally by the puppet masters based on a completely fake history, and once sufficient numbers of Jewish people are installed in a region, then in comes the big boys and the programs that are created for them to follow, which largely means they take over the region's land, resources, businesses and banks, oblivious to the Jewish people, the average Jewish people by and large. And because of this hidden program, it is why and them who have suffered. Thrown out of 106 countries in the last 2,000 years, plagued with the guilt that it was they who killed the person known as Jesus, plagued with the guilt of known in some cases, denial in most. It was their own kind who killed them in World War II. The SS were all Jewish connected, as my series has proven. And I wish more were encouraged to learn more and embrace the knowledge. It will solve so many of the world's ills, where hate and division towards others are largely at the request of the system, blaming Jews for everything being one of them. Jews are just the front puppets, the sacrificial lambs, as it were, for a far larger program running in the background. Like I said, no one was born a Jew, a Catholic, a Muslim, or any other derivative of fake religions. That was given to you by non-taught parents in the system. No child should be born and branded by a religion. It's far damaging than many realise. The choice of religion, whether to participate or not, should be decided by the child when passing into adult at 18. That then becomes their choice. Currently, that choice is taken away by a non-sovereign program, by millions of parents inserted into a program that they're oblivious to all the consequences of. Our world is riddled with stupidity, naivety, and a basic lack of understanding of how life works or should be. And we have much work ahead to get anywhere near to what it should be. But thankfully, our members, along with Randy and Alan, have made a good start in thinking different. It is the key. We will not prevail copying old ways. All of it has failed, and all of it is collapsing. Final piece, which I have mentioned earlier, which is prevalent now. I see us as errant warriors. Errant in the sense that we are departing from a prescribed course. We cross a threshold, and then the fabric of events alters. The news is different. Solid becomes liquid, liquid becomes vapor, and vapor becomes open space or ether. That space is waiting for us to do something. The space has no plan. It is calm. The challenges we assumed were there are missing. Those challenges were the last meal we consumed on the last day of old time. Now we walk and look up at the night sky. We are satiated and satisfied, and now we can do something different. This has been the Truth, Honour and Integrity Show. My name's Thomas Williams. I'll see you next on Sunday with Randy and Alan. Bye for now.